Iran-based social media scheme impersonating US politicians is shuttered. Facebook and Twitter on Tuesday said they shuttered accounts used in an Iran-based social media campaign to sway public opinion by impersonating reporters, politicians, and others. Facebook removed 51 accounts, 36 pages, and 7 groups, and 3 other accounts from Instagram after investigating a tip from internet security firm FireEye. Twitter told AFP that it removed a network of 2,800 inauthentic accounts originating in Iran at the beginning of May, but was not privy to the FireEye findings made public on Tuesday. German intelligence says Iran seeking to expand military program to weapons of mass destruction. While European powers still claim Iran's regime is in compliance with the nuclear deal, a new German intelligence report accuses the regime of seeking to build weapons of mass destruction. Iran is a risk country that is making efforts to expand its conventional arsenal of weapons with weapons of mass destruction, wrote the Bavarian Office for the Protection of the Constitution in its intelligence report. US warns Hong Kong to avoid tanker in breach of Iran sanctions. The US warned Hong Kong that it would face penalties if it does business with an oil tanker headed for the city that allegedly violated sanctions against Iran's regime. Washington wants to put China and the autonomous city on notice that it will aggressively and consistently enforce its Iran sanctions, a senior US official said on Tuesday. The official said China would be informed that any entity doing business with the ship would expose it to US sanctions. US sets up $70 million grant to combat Iranian disinformation in Syria. The United States State Department has set up a $70 million grant to be spent in Syria to combat ISIS and disinformation carried out by the Iranian regime inside the country. According to the State Department's Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs, the grant opportunity supporting local governance and civil society in Syria will be given to eligible NGOs. Iran's morality police stormed private party to arrest 15 people. Iranian authorities have arrested 15 young men and women at a mixed-gender private party amid a crackdown on behavior deemed to be un-Islamic, the state-run Rokna news agency reported. Attacking and breaking up parties have been quite rife in Iran, with the authorities periodically launching crackdowns to discourage parties and sometimes make arrests. Iran's regime appoints former hanging judge as deputy parliament speaker. The Iranian regime has appointed a former member of the death committee charged with overseeing executions during the 1988 massacre of political prisoners as the new deputy parliament speaker. In 1988, Abdul Reza Mesri represented the revolutionary prosecutor in the death committee in the western province of Kermanshah and sent a large number of political prisoners to their death. He was also head interrogator and torturer in the early 80s in Kermanshah.